Hey guys, today I'll be explaining my idea called the vacuum engine model, otherwise known as the V engine model. So basically, the V engine model is a very eco-friendly version of your modern day engines. So this engine mostly runs on air and very little on fuel. So basically, this engine works on Bernoulli's theorem. So the vacuum engine model. This engine model has very few components, which makes it very eco-friendly. This makes it so that the engine requires less fuel. So the few components include 2 turbines, one having the option of working like a wind turbine, 4 sensors, 1 in each beginning chamber and 2 in a final release chamber, an air heating system to heat up the air, a hydraulically activated bowl to release during the engine reverse thrust. So here's a small drawing of my engine model. So over here you have a release hole. It will be controlled by a flap. So basically this engine will look normal from the outside and will have all this on the inside. So yeah, the 2 turbines. There are 2 turbines in the vacuum engine, turbine A and B. Turbine A, which is outermost, has the option of being moved by the wind only after reaching a point of 10,000 feet or even by fuel at times. But turbine 2 does not have this option and only uses fuel. The turbine A is usually controlled by a knob in the cockpit. This knob is placed right behind the thrust levers. A common engine turbine used in all modern aircraft, as shown here. Sensors. These sensors are just regular sensors that detect pressure and temperature. These sensors are run by fuel. The heating system. The heating system is just a rod heater. It heats the air like a regular heater. These heaters will be run by very little fuel, making it even more eco-friendly. The reverse thrust bowl. The reverse thrust bowl is a hydraulic move bowl that diverts air from the 2 chambers to the bowl that pushes out the air once the reverse thrust lever is pulled. A hydraulic fluid is pushed through the plane and reaches the engine. The bowl blocks air from reaching the release chamber and as usual is pushed out to be cycled back in again. Here's a common example used on the Airbus A330 engines, where a bowl is ejected so that air can be pushed outside to divert the engine air to move forward to slow down the aircraft. How the old engine works compared to my new engine model. The modern engine. The modern engine basically works when air is taken into the chamber. It is slightly heated up and fuel is mixed with the air. It is turned into an air-fuel mixture and a piston compresses this mixture. Soon it is sent to a chamber before being released and a spark ignites it, causing combustion. The combustion expansion in the gas chamber is giving a forward thrust on the plane that's released through a small hole. The air is pushed in naturally due to the turbine spinning on its own and is split into the 2 chambers as you saw in the above picture. The 2 chambers heat up the air and force the air from both the chambers into a chamber around the size of one of them. Due to Bernoulli's theorem, the air being released has a 540 millibar pressure, the pressure in the stratosphere being only around 200 millibar. When the air is released, due to the law of nature, the air tries to balance out the pressure, but the turbine B pushes all the air out from the chamber, causing it to be low pressure again compared to the atmosphere. This gives the engine a forward thrust and can move the plane. The disadvantages of the modern engine. It requires tons of fuel, as the modern Boeing 747s require almost 1 million pounds of fuel and can heat quickly due to combustion. This is a very risky thing. Can also be explosive under certain conditions. Suppose fuel combines in a amount that's larger than required, and when combusted can be very risky, and fuel usually takes up 15% of the aircraft's weight. The advantages of the V engine. This engine requires very less fuel. There is no combustion. It reduces carbon emissions by a ton and runs very and is very quiet compared to your normal engine. It is also easy and cheap to assemble and disassemble, so no shutters are required to open the engine. So usually the modern engine has some doors that open the engine and gives the engineer access to the inside. But at the end, this engine model is so simple that you can take it apart to inspect and suppose even make some changes. It can directly be disassembled and assembled.